Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and feeling excited because today marks the beginning of powerful journey into the world of advanced Excel. And I'm Shrenik from Disha Computer Education, and I will be guiding you through the 5 days training program designed to sharpen your skills, boost your confidence, and help you master in Excel like a pro. So before we dive into formulas and functions, let's take a moment to set the stage on. So this training is all about it's just about the learning shortcuts or it just memorizing the tools. So it's about understanding how Excel can solve real world problems. Whether you are managing your data, analyzing the trends, or building the dashboards that tell the compelling stories. So, over the next few sessions, we will explore advanced techniques and practical examples and hands on exercise that will challenge and inspire you. I also know that you all are not completely beginner to using the Excel software, uh, but still, I will be going through each and every key concepts of the Microsoft Excel. So, the checklist we need to first follow is I request you all to keep your video on throughout the session, so which will be help me stay connected and engaged. And the interactive session will be interactive, so make sure you use your microphone and camera are working, and you haven't uh, if you haven't tested them yet, then you can take a moment now. And also you should have received the pre-test and completed it. If not, then you should complete it till today evening 8. And next is the ensure you are in a quiet space with a stable internet and Microsoft Excel installed. So preferably the version I uh, proposed was 2016 or later. You also can keep a notebook and a pen handy for quick notes and exercise. Whenever I share my experience, I will be sharing something on my screen. So the points you can note down whenever you think they are new to you and maybe you may recall it later. So you can keep a notebook with you. And lastly, if you have any queries, any technical issues, so feel free to drop a message in the chat and I will be assisting you quickly. And feel free to interrupt between the session to ask your queries and questions, raising your hands so that will uh, not disturb others, and I also will be able to help you quickly. Now over to you, and then we will understand your concerns if any, then we'll be good to start. What you can expect today from me is so understanding of advanced formulas and functions, exploring logical and lookup functions, and real world scenarios and hands-on practice. So I'm sharing my screen to explain you advanced Excel in detail. So in chat box you can please mention if my screen is visible to you, and here I open Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is a Microsoft application suite application. Microsoft launch uh, multiple versions from 1997 till 2025. There are number of versions. In the interval of 3 years, Microsoft updated their versions with number of features and a lot of productive things which helps the business to grow in their part in their domain. And here I'm using Microsoft Excel. I'll click this blank workbook to see the template. As we know, in Microsoft Excel share the worksheet view, Microsoft Word share the page view, PowerPoint share slides, and Outlook share calendar views. So these four different applications, they are the four different corners of a square. And in business, to keep a good control over the management of a data, these four applications are playing like a pillars, and they help us grow in their domain. Banking, education, hospitals, they are in the service sector, and they all business need to closely play with the data and getting the predictions. They able to decide their next year's plan, and they are using Microsoft Excel to maintain the data. They are using Microsoft Word to routine uh, official letters and inviting for the different events. Using mail merge feature, they quickly able to connect with their their colleagues, their recipients. Using Outlook, they able to shoot these invites, and they can schedule a meetings. They also able to manage their contact details. Now this Microsoft Excel helps in getting the insights, KRE reports, and designing, maintaining, working with lots of data. So in Excel, we'll see the worksheet labeled the table columns from A to XFD. I'll go right side of the worksheet, and the next cell post alphabets A to Z. Excel begins it with double A, B, A, C, and it reach to XFD. To reach the exact extreme right side column, use the shortcut button Control and right arrow button. Again, to come back, I'll be holding Control and left arrow key. Similarly, the number of rows are there, and they are numbered, begins at 1 and ends at 10,48,576. I used shortcut button Control down arrow to reach the last row. Now I press Control up arrow screen. So here I can see the first row, and that cell address I read as A1. If I click this cell, then it is H2. Then if I click here, then it is E5. So this is how I can read cell address. Now the next is, let's say here is a one quick table. I enter name, then before that I also enter roll number, and then I also enter date of birth of a student. In between columns, if you click and drag your cursor, then you can change the column width, or else you can right click over there, and there is an option called column width. So you can specify how much width you want to fix for the selected column. I enter roll numbers easily. Let's say I want total 10 users. So this is how I use a feature called autofill that generates a series of numbers. And that series also can be created for weekdays, month names with any difference. Now in the name column, let me quickly add couple of names. So here I just enter names, and while I enter the name, if let's say I enter something wrong, then that typo you can quickly correct without using mouse, and you can press a key F2. So the cursor starts blink, and now you can correct the spelling and hit enter. And if you are repeating any name, then see Excel suggests you whether you want to continue with the same name. So if you then press enter, otherwise you can make changes. You can write different name and go ahead. Okay, so I'll add more six names. Done. Now in the date of birth section, in Excel, the default date format is month, day, year. If I enter a date as suppose 8/12/2000, so I'm reading this as 12th August 2000. Now I enter again other date call values. In Excel, whenever you complete entering a date, so if the date appears at aligned left side, then that is meaning that the entered format or the date is wrong. There is something wrong. Whenever you enter a number and a date, it should appear at the right side in the cell. The default alignment is right. For the text data, the default alignment is left. And if it not, then there is something wrong in your data. So you can quickly make the corrections. Now to this table, I wish to apply certain styles with custom fonts, and to add custom fonts, you can download them from internet. See, whenever you are playing with data, uh, the data must appear in a right design following the suitable font. Let's say if that font is not available in your system, then simply you can get the new fonts. I'll show you how. First, I select this entire table, and to select this entire table, there are three different ways I will follow. I'll click the first cell, and without holding any key, I'll reach to the last cell in the same table. Now I hold shift button and I just click and release the mouse and shift key. So see how quickly I selected a whole table. Okay. Otherwise, I keep my cursor anywhere in the table and I press Ctrl A. So the complete table gets selected. Otherwise, I keep my cursor in the beginning cell and I hold Ctrl and Shift key. Then I press right arrow key and then I press down arrow key. So this is how I select table. I'll be noting down points over here for your reference. So you can revise them once I finish, and I'll give you some time in between to practice those things. So for now, I want everyone's concentration and your time only into this meeting. Now, the note point is the first I'll be pressing Alt Enter key to write new line in the same cell. So the first what I told you is autofill feature in Excel. Autofill is generates series of numbers, comma, month names, weekdays. Second is shortcuts to select data in a table. So one I told you is select first cell of a table data and then holding shift key, select last cell of the same table. Second option is keep cursor inside a table and press Ctrl A. That also selects the whole table. Or the third option is select first cell of table and then press Control Shift right arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key. So these are the things I just quickly discussed with you. Now the next is I'll be applying formats to the table. So to apply necessary color and background styles, I'll be using some different things. So first of all, I just press Alt key. So pressing Alt key, Excel enables the hotkeys. Okay, hotkeys means uh, shortcut keys. I just press and release quickly Alt key and see for home it is H. Now in home, Excel showing you all hotkeys for the options. For this alignment section, hotkeys are AT, then AV, then AB. What is the meaning? So this align top, align middle, align bottom, align right, align left, align center. Now I press align center AC. So the data is now at the center. To apply border, I hold and release Alt key. See how easy it is. You no need to even remember the shortcut button. And consistently, if you use it for a week, I'm sure no need to wait for the hotkeys. You simply quickly press the hotkeys and it applies that style to your table. Now in the home tab, to apply border, I press B and then I press A. A stands for all borders. So all borders, I see how quickly I applied using the shortcut. I will do it once again in front of you. So Alt H A C, that is align the data in the table at the center. Now to apply border, Alt H B A. So see how quickly I applied border to the table styles. Now to change the background color, I select this whole table and here is a color style. You can apply any color if you like to add, let's say this light blue color. I merge the previous row cells using this option merge and center. Generally, I press shortcut button Alt H M and I press A to merge and center. So here I write a title for this table as student records. Now to change the background color, I use shortcut button Control 1. Control 1 shortcut button share you cell properties, currency properties, color properties, as well as border properties. It's great. Numbers, alignments, fonts, borders, fill option, and I'll select this fill option. In this fill effects, here are the colors, two different colors. I'll choose the light yellow shade, let's say the light blue shade and the dark blue shade. So this one I'll select. You can also make changes in the shading styles. I like to use the horizontal style and I click OK. So the gradient style I am able to apply to my table styles. I make those changes in the color. I select dark black color here and change the font. Now to apply font download from internet. So you can search here a font name dot your theme. So keep present in the download font. Just write a text here as Microsoft Excel families. So you see which font you is the different unit only 1800. They are more than 5000 fonts. Upload get font. I click here get font and then I click download all. Okay. The website is fonts.google.com. I completed the download. It is here storyscript.zip. Now you navigate to that folder where you are downloading your files. Right click and select option extract story script. Extract means what? The download file is a zip file and the data or the files inside the zip file you first need to unzip. So I right click and select extract. I open this folder and there is a font called story script. The extension of the file is ttf. I right click and copy this font, and to install this font click start button and search. So if you all are using Windows 10 or Windows 11, then even Windows 7 also this setting is same. And especially if you want to follow the Windows 11, then instead of searching control panel, you can search for font settings. So directly a screen will appear and you can paste the font over there. In this control panel option, you select the view by large icons and then you will get fonts. In this fonts, I paste the copied font. Here is so coming to this point, once you open control panel fonts, here you paste the copied font and then this name you directly search in Excel to apply the font style. So I select the whole table and then in the font section I search the font name as story script. You can also use the drop down list to search the font name and the font name is story script. Now see the font applied to the whole table. To work with the icons, from insert tab you can search for the icons. I also add a note point as download new font and to get the font open fonts.google.com and then search a font style you want to apply. Then download font and unzip, copy the font, copy .ttf files and paste it in control panel fonts. Simple. So once you complete the steps, search for the font and apply to the table. So these are the initial things you need to practice in Excel. Now in Microsoft Excel, to design number of tables, here I will be sharing you my contents to you. I created week-wise all the files, including the assignments that you are going to complete. So through the Google Drive link, I will be sharing it to you. For now, I will be showing you what are the files and how to practice Excel case studies. In Microsoft Excel, there are number of features, formulas, and to easily deliver it to you, I will be sharing you a Google Drive link. In week 1, you are going to solve today, completing this training program for the today's day, solve the case studies. And in the case studies file, there are three table designs that you are going to work on. Simply you try to design the same style tables. Assignment 1 is for the simple product table. Assignment 2 is for the cricket players table. And assignment 3 is for maybe users table. So these three tables you design and practice them applying different font styles, color gradients, and make sure that you are including the cell properties. In this basic, I started with designing the and the contents also you will receive uh, consistently week wise at the end of the program. Now to design these three tables, you need to use Excel border styles, alignments, shortcuts, and font styles. Okay. Now coming back to Excel, here I will be showing you another feature of Excel. Whenever you are entering the data into the table, you might require copy that data and use it for uh, some other worksheets. So you copy them. Let's say I copy over here and I want to paste this in the sheet 2. So before you paste, I show you the three things. If you select directly this paste option, then Excel paste the table without change in the destination column width. I want to apply the same column width which I copied from the source location. To do so, you paste this using paste special option. In the paste special option, there is a one feature called keep source width. So if you select, then see your job is done. You no need to separately again work with the column widths. Currently, I am using 3 columns. Think about if you are playing with more than 20 columns. So how you will be dealing with this? So simply you can copy and while you paste using column width option, you can paste this easily. There is a one more option I will be showing you. I want to paste the table data again, but without formatting. So in this paste option, you select this option as 1, 2, 3. Okay. So see, Excel will remove all the formatting, all the color styles, border styles, font. Okay. And Excel only show you a simple table. And in Excel, date is considered as a number. So this date 8/12/2000 is appearing as 36,868. So this number indicates a difference between number of days. So Excel always process the date in background as a number, getting the difference between two different dates. One is 1st January 1900. The date is 1st January 1900. And the second is the date you entered here in the table. So how many days difference is between 12th August 2000 and 1990? So the difference is of 36,868 days, right? So this way Excel process each date in the background. While you copy paste, there is a one more way you can use. Copy this, and before you paste, there is a one option called uh, paste in transpose order. So the transpose means rows will become columns. Now see, roll number, name, and DOB as they are columns, but in the uh, column K, it appears as a row. So you can transpose the content from the table simply using the option transpose from the paste special. I save this file for you for the later use, and I will be moving to a one more file. On desktop, I create a one folder as practice, and in this I save my file as file1 designing basic table. Okay, I close this file. Now I open another file here. I completed discussing with you the basic table design, and now I'll be showing you another way of designing tables using format as a table. So these are the two different tables, and I use the same shortcuts: merge, center, insert, delete rows, and then there is a change in the date format, currency values. So the shortcut button I used to make the changes in the Excel date format was Control 1, and in this Control 1 section you will find all the date formats, different date formats. So which format you would like to continue? The format you select and click OK. Currency formats also I make the currency change using a shortcut button Control 1. Now see, in the currency options, there are all countries currencies available. You select a specific one and then click OK. Once you complete it, then you can begin writing a simple formula for getting a total of sales. And in Excel, you know that to make calculations, you must begin with equal to symbol and then use the cell address. Let's say the cell address is E3. I press asterisk sign to get a multiplication, and I press 2. So let's press enter. Remember, Excel always follow the cell address syntax in the formulas. So cell address you read as column number, column name, and row number, and I hit enter to get the answer. So whenever I autofill, the reference goes to the next row. So the E3 cell becomes E4, E5, E6, E7, E8. Okay, so it increases sequentially whenever you are dragging the formula to the next row. Once you complete the table calculation, uh, you can try the last option as typing formula and then using the reference cell address in your table. Okay, we will discuss this in the file number 3. So this table I just wanted to show the the use of colors, the use of font, the use of border, cell properties that makes the good presentation of a table. Okay, also make use of the right alignments into your table. Now I close this file. Another file, I'll be asking you questions now, and you can try answering them in the chat. So the table is here, and I want to get the gross calculation for an employee. Understand this table. The table is all about employees details: employee code, employee name, joining date, salary. The first employee salary is 12,000, and on top of that, employee is also getting 4% of dearness allowance and 3% of house rent allowance. Here I calculate and print total gross amount. So 4% of 12,000 is 360 rupees, and 3% of 480 rupees, and 3% of 12,000 is 360 rupees. So in total, employee is earning 12,000 plus 480 plus 360. Okay, that is the gross income of employee. And still, the company is paying incentive to the employee. Means in this gross, I also need to increase more 1200 rupees to each employee, right? Now here I make calculations. So I use equal to, so first of all, the salary value, that is E6, I use plus, uh, then in the bracket 12,000 multiplied by 4%, again plus 12,000 multiplied by 3%. I complete the bracket. Okay, so I completed the bracket. Now in this formula, thing to remember is when to use brackets and when to not. Because in Excel, I observed many candidates, they uh, try to write the formulas without the brackets as they just not want to uh, make the functions glitch. Okay, they want the clean appearance in the function. So keeping the brackets is not all about the presentation. It is about the calculations in the Excel that understand and the process. Okay, so it's a math formula, right? So in maths, Excel also follows the BODMAS rule. That means it first evaluates the bracket, then it evaluates the division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. Okay, it follows the basic math rules. So it's good to use the right sequence of the brackets at the right time. Okay, and it also makes clearer to you to understand the part of formula. Now see, I select this piece of formula and on my keyboard I will be pressing a key F9. Okay, I repeat, I selected a part of formula and I am be pressing. Okay, so for recording also the play and pause button, the key is F9. But pressing this F9 key will show you, Excel will show you the calculation part of this formula. Okay, you can try this in your system. You can select the part of formula and press F9. So Excel will show you the answer for E6 and G6 as 360 rupees, E6 and F6 as 480 rupees. And if you select the entire formula, then the addition of 12,000 plus 360 plus 480. Okay, that is 12,840 rupees. So just to get confidence, so could you please write in the chat whether you are clear with this particular formula I wrote in the Excel? You can write yes or you can thumbs up. Okay, good. Nice to see you, the hands. The next is a question to you. What if I make a quick change in this function as plus cell address C3, okay, plus cell address C3. Now a poll I'll be taking, a vote I'll be taking in the chat. How many you think in this formula using autofill C3 remains C3? That means the value in C3 is 1200 rupees. And if I drag this formula, then Excel won't change cell address C3, but Excel will change the remaining all the cell address. E6 will become E7, E8, E9, E10. Similarly, F6 will become F7, F8, F9, F10. But C3 will remain same. C3 will not change. Are you agree with this? If you agree, then you write yes. Otherwise, you write no. So do you think dragging the formula to the remaining rows will be exchange rest of the cell address? E3 will become E4, E5 that will increase, but C3 won't. Yes or no? Okay, the answer is no because I just told you that whenever you autofill, Excel always use the relative reference. That means it will uh, change the address and see in this formula C3 become C4 like E6 it become E7, right? Now anybody knows how to lock this cell so that C3 will remain C3. Otherwise, the calculations will go wrong. Excel is now considering C5 value as incentive value, which is wrong. For next, Excel consider C6 value as incentive value. So any idea how to lock the cell so that even though I drag this formula for 1000 employees, the value 1200 will remain 1200. Is there any feature in Excel to lock the cell? So I got answer from Raj and Sonia Patil as dollar sign, even Dhanashri. So dollar sign is the answer, correct. Now I select that particular cell and I press F4 key on my keyboard and see the dollar is appearing there. Okay. So dollar putting dollar symbol in your part of function will freeze that cell address. Freeze means it will not change even though you drag to the next row. So now I'll show you in cell 10th row it is still C3. At ninth row also it is C3. Even here, okay, all the places it is C3. Got it? So this way you can lock cells. So the rule I already explained in the file number 3. While you are typing and autofill Excel formulas, Excel change the cell address and to lock any cell address, you can press F4 to add a dollar symbol before column label and row number in cell address. So it avoid changing cell address while you autofill to the next row. Now these are the right calculations. So similarly, I also have a couple of tasks for you that you are going to complete. They are here. Let me open Excel assignment 1 and Excel assignment 2. So you can try your hands solving the questions given in the table screenshots. So the screenshot one is about getting the total marks, average marks, minimum and maximum marks. The questions also you can read here. Then question number 2 is calculation of a discount amount, then calculation of the same allowance. And there is a one more assignment. Okay, this also you can try. And this assignment to solve the percentage profit and then is the how much due amount once the student pays fees for particular course. So these assignments you can complete. I'll be sharing those all the files with you in the Google Drive link. Now here I'll be keeping a short break for 15 minutes and uh, then we will be resuming for our next part of session. For any queries, I'll be available on a WhatsApp.